Op4 TV. I am your host, Uncle Bill from the BX, and I'm here with my guy. Introduce yourself, King.
What's going on, man? This is Vince, aka Vincent Lake, aka Brown, aka BJ. Yeah,
AKA the artist, aka now the author. We
yeah.
here with your new book, man. Leading off, let's tell
The
them where to go
book.
get it. Tell them where to go get it. I'm gonna put all the information at the bottom of the screen, but tell them where to go get it.
All right. You can purchase the book. First and foremost, the title of the book is called "I've Had My Share: Life, Love, Losses, and Fuckery." All in in that way, pretty much. You can purchase it off of Amazon.com, Target.com, BarnesandNobles.com, Walmart.com. Also off of my website, which is lakesviewmedia.com as well.
Go to the website. That's how you might get your joint autograph. You heard? Go get it.
Yeah. So
go to the website.
I would rather you go purchase it off of my website, but if you have those options, so if you can go to lakesviewmedia.com. But you definitely have those other options: Amazon, Target, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart.com too as well. And there's a couple other platforms too that we pretty much have it circulating on. But those are the major ones right there.
And I need that hoodie right there. I might need a t-shirt version. You know what I'm saying? I see them joints going out there. I know I see you moving out there.
Yeah. I'm trying to Marvel.
Pure Sport Athletic. We still got the product line out there.
It. Yeah.
Yes, sir. I gotta hit it.
It's the athletic brand. I'm trying to get it in all directions. Pause. But you gotta, don't leave all your eggs in one basket. That's one thing I always believe in. And but as I was telling you earlier on, the book pretty much came off of 25 short stories I had published pretty much on my blog, which generated a huge following years back on I guess you could say, no, I won't say the first media outlet, because I think Black Planet was it, but social media, MySpace before the Facebook. I had the blog there, and it had a huge following, and the stories is just there going dormant, and I decided to you know what, let me brush this off a little bit, not to take away nothing from the integrities of the stories, but edit it up a little bit, and go ahead and push forward with the book.
You don't drop no names, and I'm sure these ladies out here have seen the book, and they thankful that you didn't drop no names.
No, that's one thing too. I didn't drop any names. The people who was who I experienced the experience with. I took something, I guess you can say, similar to what would go along with their personality and named them off of that, or something relatable to them and named them. So
Miss Foot Locker.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah, man. You gotta man, I always wonder about that too. Like, because we went to high school together, and eventually you joined the military, you know what I'm saying? And yes. I remember the day you called me and told me you was doing that. I was like, and I was sitting at my desk dealing with a maniac soldier, and I was like, this dude is I just couldn't wait to get away from this damn army. I was like, yo, this dude is gonna make me choke him. He was one of the type of soldiers who every time he had to be held accountable for something he did or something he said, all of a sudden he want to kill himself. He want to go run to the chaplain, and he want to blow his head off.
He kind of it's in a sense using the system.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And so, I'm a type of guy that's gonna hold you accountable for your actions.
So pretty much whatever depth it was. There you go.
P, let me bring it all the way around. Because of one of the things he would try to bring up to the leadership was that I would speak to him aggressively, and aggressive speaking comes from me being from New York and being from the Bronx and growing up where we grew up at. So I always wondered, like, man, what would have happened if had I never joined the military, had I just stayed in New York and figured it out? You know what I'm saying? What would have happened if I had stayed in New York and figured out, just life and living in New York and the hustle and the grind and eventually dating and
yeah.
This is what happens. Like
this is what happened, right? The thing is, it's weird because I'm kind of doing a lot of stuff right now in life in reverse, if that makes sense. I went to college early, like everybody else did, but I started my career off early, meaning I had a whole another life before this. I worked within the music industry as a fashion stylist. So you named it, I worked with them in the beginning. From not to drop no names, but I did album covers, videos, on tour, created marketable images for these artists when they first came out, and rebranded artists and all that stuff. So
you yourself
I was
an
a
artist.
part of all that.
Yeah, you yourself are an extraordinary artist. I mean, who did this? Who did cover work? Where did this come from?
I did the cover work. I did the graphics and everything. So
My point exactly.
I appreciate that. So I got to experience stuff real early in the game while my peers, my friends, they were working, grinding. And even though I was working, I didn't look at it as work because I was following my passion. I was doing what I love, but at the same time, I got to experience some things, and you can read about it in the book.
Yeah, man. Yo, man. I remember in high school, you was the first dude with the bread 11s, and I was mad, yo, because I believe we had the same sneaker plug. I believe Dubs was my sneaker plug, and because he was working at Modell's, and he came up, and he had got me the 11 lows. And I got those. I got
Dubs was working at Modell's.
Yeah. So when I got the I probably got my bread 11s like 2 weeks after you had yours, and I was like, damn, you got to them first. Shit.
Son.
You came down Gun Hill, got the train, came down Gun Hill. I was like, man, I'm hating.
Good.
I'm hating. But that was the game though, right? That's what we did though. We went to
That's
school.
What we did.
We went to school and we got fly, yo. Man, so
that's what we did.
Chasing your passion, writing books, inspired by your blog. This is fantastic, man. I'm sure the listeners out there, the readers who've read it, and the readers who are gonna read it. Come on now, man. You was in these streets as a grown man for over 20 years. They want to know, it's all about, this is content right here. They want to know if part 2 is coming.
I was asked by several of the readers to do a part 2.
I know you got it.
I can, but I was just like, I don't want to, for lack of words, pigeonhole myself in that direction, because I have other content that I'm working on that I want to go ahead and push forward. So the book per se, I want to say, was for me is more like a litmus test, because I'm jumping into a pool I've never been in. I mean, beforehand, I wrote for other blogs. Currently, some of the stories I did still up there for a site called Curly Nikki, which is pretty much pertaining towards a genre of women of color. So I wrote for them. Thank you. A couple years back probably, I think it was like 2017, 2018, around that time. But me, that time, it was pretty much touching, it was temperature checking with them, just to see how the audience would react, the readers would react. So I was like, okay, once I got a response to those stories that I wrote for them, I was like, yeah, I can go ahead and, move forward with the book, even though I was in the editing process back then. I went through a couple roadblocks, in the sense of the book should have been out like a couple years back, but had a couple setbacks. I was deployed, my pops passed, COVID, And actually during COVID is when I put it in gear to, like, I got to get this done because I, even though I was still on mission, I had downtime in
Yeah.
a sense. So I was like, I had to get it done, and I was able to execute it. So in a nutshell, I'm glad that I did get it done, and from the reactions I'm getting so far, it's definitely motivating me. So it's like, okay, I know I can move forward in this realm to go ahead and put forth the other books I like to do in the future.
Tell us about the process, man, because I'm sure there's people out there you're gonna inspire, people out there you're gonna motivate, and
The process was a tough road, meaning in the sense that once I started doing it, it brought back a lot of clearly a lot of memories, and I'm gonna get to another part of that in a second. It brought back a lot of memories. Um, I did self-publishing. I didn't want to go to um, a publishing house, and it's a little difficult too as well going to a known publishing house who don't know you. So they would want some form of ownership of your stuff, and I'm like, all right, none of this stuff is fictional, so I'm not giving up no ownership to anybody. This is me. This is part of me. So
absolutely.
future projects that I may pen that be that 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 will be fiction or what have you, then maybe, yeah. But all this stuff that I wrote is nonfiction. So I'm like, no. And I went searching and looked for a couple companies that would do self-publishing. Now the self-publishing part is what they to give you more detail to self-publishing. You may be the writer, you may own it and so forth, but they have the infrastructure to pretty much press your book up and get it to the masses as the Amazons, as the Targets and Walmart. So it's pretty much in a sense of a distribution
indie
deal,
with a district,
like a record deal in a sense. You may own your stuff.
Indie with a distribution deal.
Pretty much, you own it, but they pushing it along, so they're getting a percentage of your book, but you still own the rights and all that stuff.
But they only eat what they kill. So going back to what we said at the top, go to Lakeview Media and purchase your copy.
Exactly,
because so that we get the lion's share. Because I'm sure Amazon wants a lion's share, Target wants a lion's share.
Exactly, they get their numbers. The book, wherever the book is sold, the numbers will be accumulated, but the pie will be even split. Whereas if you go to my site, all that's coming back to me.
Yes, sir. So, yes, sir. That's what we need right there.
That's the key thing. So I appreciate all the support with that. But the first company that I found was in the process, and they loved the book and so forth, but I had in the manuscript. But what they wanted me to do was change a lot of stuff that's pretty much don't exist anymore in the book. Meaning like Rumba, that club doesn't exist anymore. In the Bronx, they wanted me to change the name of that. I was like, for what? I'm like, cross streets that I would mention, because when I write and give detail, like if it's a conversation.
You paint a picture, bro. You paint a picture. Yeah, that all I'm going through this, all I'm seeing is the Bronx in my head, and I'm like,
man. So that's how I like to write. So to make it as vivid as possible in detail. So like if you were there, they wanted me to change a lot of stuff, public domain and all that. And I was like, nah, I'm not doing all that. So I end up having to eat what I paid them to do. And then as far as pressing it up, and I lost some money off of that. It was a learning process. And then I found another company, which I'm dealing with right now, which is Outskirts Press. And they didn't do all of that with the previous company. They pretty much was like, yeah, we got you. You can go ahead. All you need to do is just pay for this, pay for that. So I'm like, all right, bet. And it's been good with them. So I'm appreciative with that.
Yeah, man. That's what's up, man. This is a piece of work right here, man. Support all my people, let's get out there and support a Black man, a veteran, a family man, father, and you know, saying all of
Yeah,
what he's out here doing. And we got some good content right here. So all my people's out there from New York, yo, when you on the train, you heard? You know what y'all do?
yeah, that's
You
what
know
it
what y'all
is,
do?
man. I've been pushing that to a lot of people. Like one thing too is
The commuters, all the
I try to
commuters
be
out
as
there.
exactly. You have a lot of dead time traveling.
Yes,
Pick the
sir.
book up, enjoy the read, go to work, feel happy, have a laugh to yourself.
You don't even get no
Um,
signal when the train get underground.
no, you don't. So, run through the book. I try to make the book a little bit unorthodox as far as having it not as a straight read. I put it in the top so you can just jump from story to story because it's part ones, part twos, part threes, and it's not all in the same category. I have some love, I have some losses, and they're all mixed up.
Man, we
So
got
you
to
can just
collab. I gotta you gotta have me on an audio book, son. What's good?
we can make that happen. We
I
can,
need
we can definitely make that happen.
let me get at least 2 or 3 chapters on the audio book. I'm gonna kill it with the voiceover, you heard?
Yeah, so that's in the works too. That's in the works too. But
Yeah,
with the audio, because the people been asking for that, and I was like,
yeah,
and that's another situation. I'm penning out, figuring it out. So, but
yeah. Let me
yeah,
know, man. Let me know. My man's up at there at the Bronx Collective Studios, right there in
okay,
Hunts Point. Yeah, we can make it happen, yo. We can make it
all
happen.
right,
We
we're
got the
gonna definitely
connects.
build on this offline.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yo, anybody you want to shout out? Anybody want to show some love to?
I
We got
want to shout out to.
mad shout outs in here. Yo, Shorty with the them Brooklyn shorties, yo. Oh man.
Oh man, one of
Woo.
my college friends just read the book. She cracked jokes on it. Um, Yesterday when I actually was talking to her about it. So I'm like, anybody who read the book, go ahead, feel free to go to lakeview media.com, press your reviews, be as candid, honest as you want. It's all good. Shout out to everybody who I had experience with, who made me the person who I am. Miss North, rest in peace, blessings to her.
Hey, hey.
Miss Footlocker, she actually is crazy. She called me on my birthday, probably like a year ago from that incident. If you read the book, and she I gave her an apology because I have no hate or malice in my heart. So
Yes,
that's what she
yes.
wanted. So she got that. I ain't hear from her since, but years later,
That's fortunate. You're right. That's good. That's
she
good.
reached out to me. So yeah, but shout outs to everybody who pretty much I had a life experience with it and
Yes, sir. Yes,
helped me on
sir.
my journey on being who I am to this day. All right.
Yes,
So
sir.
yeah,
Yes,
if
sir.
you pay attention to the lesson points,
Hey, they
that's
in there.
pretty much
They in
what it
there.
is.
The jewels is available to you. Young
Yeah.
people, young men, yo. This is you're gonna deal with
Yeah,
this.
this book isn't just for women, it's for men too. It's for
Young
men
men,
too.
you are
All
going
right.
to deal with this. Learn how to handle these situations accordingly. Learn how to be a man. I'm telling you,
Responsible and
because
be a man.
yo, I'm telling you,
Some things
because
you're just gonna have
society
to move with, you're gonna have to eat, and you just gotta know how to maneuver with and
society
just be like,
tells
all
us
right,
society tells us to be one way, but life will teach you that ain't it.
no, your
Life,
greatest teacher in life will be experience.
the experience will tell you that society was wrong the whole time. Experience.
Facts.
You know what I'm
Facts and
saying?
Bible facts.
You're gonna go through the pain, you're gonna go through the struggle. You can't avoid that. But it don't have to be as bad. You don't have to happen
Nah,
2 or 3 times. You could get a
nah.
little bit of information here, get yourself right. Op4 TV, signing off. We out.